Macmillan Audio presents What the River Knows by Isabel Ibañez. Narrated for you by Osorio and Ahmed Hamad. For Rebecca Ross, who fell in love with Egypt as I wrote the first draft, who cheered me on even as I reached dead ends, and who swooned when wit first walked across the page. Prólogo. Never say you know the last word about any human heart. Henry James. August, 1884. A letter changed my life. I'd waited for it all day hidden in the old potter's shed, away from Tia Lorena and her two daughters, one I loved and the other who didn't love me. My hideout barely stood up straight, being old and rickety. One strong wind might blow the whole thing over. Golden afternoon light forced itself in through the smudged window. I furrowed my brow, tapping my pencil against my bottom lip, and tried not to think about my parents. Their letter wouldn't arrive for another hour yet, if it was coming at all. I glanced at the sketchpad propped against my knees and made myself more comfortable in the ancient porcelain bathtub. The remnants of old magic shrouded my frame, but barely. The spell had been cast long ago, and too many hands had handled the tub for me to be completely hidden. That was the trouble with most magic-touched things. Any traces of the original spellcast were faint, fading slowly any time it passed hands. But that didn't stop my father from collecting as many magically tainted objects as he could. The manor was filled with worn shoes that grew flowers from the soles, and mirrors that sang as you walked by them, and chests that spewed bubbles whenever opened. Outside, my younger cousin, Elvira, hollered my name. The unladylike shrill would almost certainly displease Tia Lorena. She encouraged moderate tones, unless, of course, she was the one talking. Her voice could reach astonishing decibels, often aimed in my direction. "Inez!" Elvira cried. I was too much in a wretched mood for conversation. I sank lower in the tub, the sound of my prima rustling outside the wooden building, yelling my name again as she searched the lush garden, under a bushy fern and behind the trunk of a lemon tree. But I kept quiet in case Elvira was with her older sister, Amaranta. My least favorite cousin who never had a stain on her gown or a curl out of place, who never screeched or said anything in a shrill tone. Through the slits of the wooden panels, I caught sight of Elvira trampling on innocent flower beds. I smothered a laugh when she stepped into a pot of lilies, yelling a curse I knew her mother also wouldn't appreciate. Moderate tones and no cursing. I really ought to reveal myself before she sullied yet another pair of her delicate leather shoes. But until the mailman arrived, I wouldn't be fit company for anyone. Any minute he'd arrive with the post. Today might finally be the day I'd have an answer from Mama and Papa. Tia Lorena had wanted to take me into town, but I'd declined and stayed hidden all afternoon in case she forced me out of the house. My parents chose her and my two cousins to keep me company during their months-long travels, and my aunt meant well, but sometimes her iron ways grated. "Inés, ¿dónde estás?" Elvira disappeared deeper into the garden, the sound of her voice getting lost between the palms. I ignored her, my corset a log around my ribcage, and clutched my pencil tighter. I squinted down at the illustration I'd finished. Mama's and Papa's sketched faces stared up at me. I was a perfect blend of the two. I had my mother's.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?